One of the reasons I'm so outspoken about brainwashing and manipulation tactics is because I work with a lot of children who have experienced exploitation. I work with law enforcement to combat child trafficking and exploitation. And did you guys know that over 90% of the time, it's a friend or family? It's someone the kid knows and is supposed to be able to trust. So contrary to popular opinion, it's not the masked man in the white van who's going to kidnap your kid as much as a family member or friend who is allowed to have access to the child and who uses a manipulation process called grooming to gain the trust of the family and friends and the situation in order to gain access to the child. This gradual manipulation process reduces the predator's risk of being caught. It also gradually desensitizes the child to harmful or inappropriate behaviors. Children can be groomed, and adults can be groomed as well. Just realize how much more powerful it is when predatory adults use these manipulation tactics on children. Children cannot outsmart or overpower a predatory adult. So it's important to be aware of the signs of brainwashing, of the patterns, and also the concept of tricky people. It's not just about stranger danger. It's also about us as adults being the ones that are vigilant, being the ones that are willing to be not only aware, but protectors. Because children are innocent. They are just sponges. They are easily manipulated. Like no grown adult gets an applause for me for being able to outsmart a child, right? A child cannot physically defend themselves, and they're not able to overpower or outsmart an adult. So we, as parents, as human beings, need to be aware that there are people who will position themselves in places of power or authority in order to gain access to children. I'm obviously not saying all, school teachers and coaches and pastors are. I'm saying if you are a predator, you will want to position yourself in those types of positions, a place of authority where you will have access to children. So for all the parents and all the adults, I just need you to be very aware that just because they are an adult in a position of authority, or just because they're sitting in the same building as you, singing and praying the same way you're praying to the same type of God, does not mean they're safe for kids. Even though you and I are well-meaning people, we need to be aware of the tactics of people that are not well-meaning, in fact, very harmful to children, because I promise you, they're not going to come across with like a weapon and a scary outfit. They're going to come on with the love bombing and the gaslighting and the friends and the way too eager to babysit your kid for free, or the doting gifts or the compliments or whatever it is. Predators are strategic. They will find a way to gain your trust. So, I'm not saying trust no one. I'm saying vet everyone who has access to your children. I'm saying don't trust them just because they're a family member or a neighbor or a church person or a friend or whatever. I'm saying to make sure that you know who has access to your child and that you thoroughly vet them, that you make sure, not just because they are related to you or something, not because you want to believe they're safe. I want you to also monitor your child. Now, here's the other part. A child is not going to be able to communicate with us the way we would like them to clearly communicate. They may not know what's going on. And due to this process called grooming, they are often gradually desensitized to the extent that not only because they're an innocent child, but because they don't know what's going on is wrong. They might even think it's a fun little game or whatever. So in the sick, twisted mind of the predator, they've done all this on purpose. I'm telling you what the patterns of brainwashing and grooming and manipulation tactics are so you can be aware of them and so you can protect children. Start in your community, start at home with your child. I'm asking you not to do nothing. Awareness and knowledge are only power if we do something with them.